My name is John. I'm the founder and producer of the Socially Awkward podcast. Outside of that, I'm also a photographer and a videographer. We're going to pursue further studies in August. So the Socially Awkward podcast, basically why we exist is because we want to give a voice to homeschoolers in Singapore and want to share their unique stories of life outside the public school system. And so why we came out with the name Socially Awkward is because there's this kind of like stereotype that if you are not in public school, it means that you are socially awkward, you don't know how to interact with people. And we kind of wanted to um, just play off that stereotype, get people interested in talking about, are we actually socially awkward? And I think the whole purpose of the podcast is to show that actually we're not. We get to experience a very wide range of experiences, even more so than what people in public school get to experience as well. So being a part of this community, it's been a very big part of my life, and I want to like it's kind of a way for me to give back to the community, I suppose, to get do something with like my skills to kind of get the word about homeschooling out. So we started releasing episodes in January 2020, but planning and the whole formulation of actually started like October or November 2019. At the start, okay, so there's this YouTuber that I've always enjoyed. I love his videos. And what happened is that he started his own podcast, and I found it very interesting to watch and see how he did it. So I was like, I want to create my own podcast. But I know that I'm not the kind of person that is good talking in front of the mic. Like if I have to for an episode, maybe I can, but to be able to like do it continuously long term, I don't think I can do that. So I was like, I'll do the production, but I need to find some people to help me. So I asked a friend if she'd be willing to host. Asked my sister if she's willing to write, and then slowly over the course we recruited different people to fill in different roles. So currently, we've got someone who manages admin for us. We're also training a new host and also someone who to take over like production. You have one episode every month, and then the following weeks you got videos on YouTube. As a producer, that's kind of my role is to set like the general direction that we put is what we're going to do. I also oversee all the different parts of the podcast, so like video production, social media, the podcast itself, that kind of thing. So it's I think when we first started, one of the biggest difficulties was lack of resources and lack of equipment because we were just starting out. We didn't know what we would need. So to like start do everything from scratch, to create a schedule, to create content by ourselves. And we all doing it part-time. Like we were still studying. I was in NS at the time. So yeah, having to manage all our different schedules and as well as that lack of resources and equipment, those were our two biggest difficulties. It's something that I'm passionate about. I love creating media, I love telling stories. So for me, that was a big driving factor for why I do it. It's a creative outlet for me. But also seeing the feedback from people about how they've enjoyed listening or watching the content, and also having the podcast be a common connection point for people. I think that's very something that is very fulfilling because you see people coming together and because of this podcast like you can go up there and say, hey, have you I listened to this, and then start a conversation from there. I think a memorable experience was recently, actually just this past month. We had a recent collaboration with another local podcast called In My Opinion. Got to go on the show, talk about homeschooling, about turning like a passion into your job. So I think it's great because this is like our first time doing it with first time like collaborating with another podcast. We get to like get the word out about ourselves as well as connect with other people who do similar things to us. Definitely want to see a team of young people that can produce entertaining and inspiring content. I think reaching out to youth and young people has always been something very important to me. And hopefully, like when I come back from my further studies, it will still be around. It's something that I can leverage to start my own business, start my own media production company, and continue doing the things that I do, creating content, and also training people. Yeah, training people not just for the sake of training them, but I think training them so that they can take their skills back and use it in the church, because a lot of churches, they don't have good media teams, or a lot of the good people who are talented in media are concentrated in a few churches, and you have churches that like miss out on these people because for certain reasons people have chosen to leave the church or whatever. So I think being able to empower these young people to learn and then go back and implement what they have learned in their churches so that they can use it to spread the gospel and expand the kingdom. I think that's very important to me. Yeah, so at the start, we were looking for a studio space to record, because at first we were recording in a house, and it was just not a very conducive environment because it's a house, there's people, there's all the environmental sounds. And so we're looking for potential spaces. And then so Emma, who's the host, her dad is also a partner with DM. And so he introduced us to Shu Chen. And then we got down, sat down, talked. And that's how I found out about DM, what DM does. And yeah, with that first meeting with Shu Chen, I think seeing his passion for wanting to connect people, really encouraging and wanting to give them the resources that they need so that they can use their skills and talents for the kingdom. I think that was what that was it was the convincing factor, I think, because it's hard to find people who have a passion for doing things that are like out of the ordinary, because like all these startups, they are so innovative, they're trying so many new things. And so it's great to be in a community that encourages this growth and creativity and innovation. And it's not like you are doing it by yourself. You have like other people that can help you and come alongside you in this journey. I love the place. It's very compact. Everything is where you need it. It's very comfortable, very cozy, especially that studio space. It's not like so big that it feels like you gotta walk very far to get to places, but yeah, it's just very cozy, very comfortable environment. Staff is very friendly. If you need to, just like pop in, talk to them if you need help. And I think that we attended one of the gatherings that was just after circuit breaker, when they allowed people to like meet in groups of like 50 or something. So you got to meet some of the partners there with them, and yeah, just get to know what they do and see if there's any ways that we could collaborate with them. The most important thing is to know why you do it. You must have a very strong and clear sense of purpose, because that's going to be the thing that anchors you and gives you direction. Without that sense of direction, it's very easy to lose focus of why you're doing the things that you do, because yes, it's a creative outlet, but sometimes there are going to be the difficult parts of it. Like there have been times I've had to stay up late to finish editing a video. I've had to try and reach out to lots of different people. So it's difficult, it's tough, and sometimes it's easy to think, oh, why am I doing this? Why couldn't I just not do it? But then I think thinking back to my purpose of why I started, I think that really is the thing that helps me to continue doing what I do and looking at the long-term goal instead of focusing on the short-term discomfort. So yeah, definitely that purpose is very, very important.